Okay, well, let's go over today's 82 COVID grants. These are personal grants, that not only federal government, but state and local government. We're going to go over some of these and show you how to find them. But first, I want to make sure that you know about the SBA. It's a grant program. They call it a loan, but it's economic injury disaster loan and advance. The advance is really a grant. So, and it's for independent contractors, for freelancers, for gig economies, people, and small business. And they say it only takes 15 minutes to apply. Now, that's amazing, isn't it? And it's pretty easy. And the video I did yesterday shows you step by step how to apply for it. And it's easy. And so it's like $1,000 for sure, and maybe more. And you can get a loan too. And it's very small interest rate for 30 years and all that if you really want that. But apply and let them, and they tell you. And I'm getting responses already, that people are getting this money and replying. If you go on, Let's Go Help, you'll see members that have already applied and got the money. But now let's go back and about the Google alerts. Okay, I'll put in grants, and you can put in grant, single or plural, whatever, and you get a little different. But here is from June 16th. So these are people. See, if you go to Google Alerts and you set up an alert system, so they tell you all the new grants, okay, and you put in the date, see, and so you want them only for that date, because otherwise, if you go and Google grants now, you'll get 100 million websites. You can't do anything. Okay, here, because you have the date, those that came up just yesterday on the internet. So this is those grants that made available and announced on the internet yesterday. So you're going to be first in line. And that's what, so this is the whole list. And they send it to you in your email. So like here, how Lift Community Grants help nonprofits and local governments dealing with COVID. Okay, so if you're a nonprofit, so this little, you want to help the community do something, you're helping kids, you're helping seniors or whatever. Okay, Lyft, the driving people, they have grants. So it shows you how to apply for them. Okay, here's a SBA opens new grant program. Okay, that's the one I just talked about. See? So that came out yesterday. So you'll know about it now. But actually, I did a video on that yesterday. Okay. Lowell's, okay, they have 25 million grants for small businesses. I mean, that's amazing. Uh, who else we got here? The second round of grants for small business owners affected by COVID. Okay, this is the second round, people. This is Mount Everett News. See, if you get the the listing, you could click right on the information and start applying. Okay, here's one. Boulder suspends neighborhood grants block party. Okay, so this is a grant for your neighborhood to have a party. Now that's a great thing, isn't it? Okay, applications for additional emergency grants are now open. Okay, here's cash grants up to $1,000, application submissions that a student has qualified for the grant. So this is a student grant. You have to find out where that is, and the link will have to show you. See, these are not national. Maybe the money came from a national, but then the local organization is going to give it out. Cobb Community Foundation. I think Cobb, isn't that a county down in Atlanta area, announces additional $55,000 to charitable grants. Okay, so if you're a nonprofit, you're eligible for that. Research Roundup, recent grants for Emory faculty. I guess you're not. $1 million grants for small businesses across Michigan. Okay, so there's $1 million of grant money for small business people in Michigan. Okay, here's another one. City of Battleground offering tourism grants. See, that's a lot of places now. People aren't traveling, so they're trying to give out grant money to small businesses to encourage travelers to their city. So you rent bicycles. Let's say you have a restaurant, and you want to attract travelers. So That's a grant. FEMA asking South Carolina's residents to spend grants wisely. More than 600 homes in South Carolina have received grants to help them recover from the storms. Okay, so you got a grant because of the storm. How'd you know about that? Okay, if you didn't get one, then start figuring that out. There's a link there. Okay, white privilege, racism, and advocacy grants. Now, that's interesting. It's certainly in the news. So there's a white privilege, racism, and advocacy grants you could apply for. The Fort Bend County launches small business grant for relief. Okay, so this is down in Houston area. So there's relief now. So if you're a small business in the Houston area, that's for you. Okay, here's another one, Marquette area. I went to Marquette University, but I think this is the town. 22 Michigan communities that have been awarded a total of $1 million are now giving out grants to small businesses. Vermont gets $4 million Head Start grants. And early childhood. So you have a daycare center or whatever, you're involved in childcare. That's grant money for you. Okay, here, Governor Edwards signs a bill making grants available to small business affected by COVID. Okay, now this is, I can't tell where maybe you know where Governor Edwards is. Is that, I forget, is that Indiana or something? Well, if you get this, you click on it and find out CARES Act grants, higher education institutions for using their own discretion determine which students get these grants. See, so that means colleges, and they do. Every college now has money from the COVID to give out to their students that need it. And a lot of college students need that. So make sure you contact your the Office of Student Aid. Okay, here, Watermen have until Wednesday to apply for grants. Here, waterman. What's a small? That's a fisherman. I clicked in there. What the hell's a waterman? Is that the guy's last name or something? You get $5,000 if you're a small business fisherman there. Okay, now that's pretty cool. Free cash grants up to $3,000 are announced to help small businesses recover from COVID. Okay, actually it replaces the states. This is another one. See, recovery replaces the state at $10,000. This is another one of free cash, $5,000. See, that's right. It's just go, and then it'll be gone. See, and maybe gone next week or whatever. So that's why I'm trying to get people to know about this early. Pritzker, I think that's the Illinois guy, announces additional grants for low income families. Okay, a lot of them around, right? So here's now a state grant for low income families, and it's part of the community block grant. Okay, see, that's, you have generic names, you don't care. You're looking for this. Now you have a link, to go and find that. Okay, what is a small business grant program in Brainerd? I don't know. Brainerd Council expands their small business grant program. 8 more small businesses in the area will get $3,000 a piece, right? So it might as well be you. It won't be if you don't apply. That's for sure. Oh, here's youth. I tagged this because my wife is involved in youth. So if you're helping young kids do something, youth, $10,000 grant. St. Louis awards 2.56 million in grants to 5 organizations providing food. We have a food shortage. People are hurting for that. So if you want to be in that business, you see, there's grants money to help you do that. Michigan Mental Health, that's a $1 million grants. You want to help people with that, and that's a big issue now. I think mental health is going to be one of our big killers for young people of all ages. $75 million small business grants in Milwaukee. Okay, Milwaukee, $75 million in Milwaukee. Grants Shelby County Community Projects. I forget where Shelby County. It's $1,000, okay, a piece. So you have a small community group doing something. Startup Junkie launches a program to help new companies get federal grants. See, that sounds like me, right? See how much they charge. But that's called Startup Junkie. Okay, they maybe be for, see, a lot of people go in the grant business. It's really for big things and scientific stuff. So I'm not sure, and that's what most government grants are. normally in the government, and that's why I try to say not grants. You're looking for direct payments and everything. For the small person, they're not even called grants yet. Like even this new $1 to $10,000, it's called an advance. It's not even called a grant. It's called an advance. So they all kind of words for it. CARES, okay. Bergen County, that's New Jersey, right? Federal grant assistance. Okay, and for small business grants. So if you're a small business in Bergen County, uh, let's see, here's another one. New fund offers grants eligible small businesses in Toledo. You're a small business in Toledo. Holy Toledo! You could get a grant there. $500,000 they're giving out. $300,000 in grants in Maryland and the District of Columbia. Wow. Grants ranging from $5,000 to $40,000. These projects cover a large geographic area. Okay. Youth running, that's another youth thing here. Running program. What do we have here? Grant application. The grant application cycle closed. Okay, see, it's going to close soon. Applications are now being accepted in that we're all in small business grants. Okay, so this is a small business grants that just started accepting applications now through June 23rd. See, that's not very long. So you have from now to the 23rd to apply for that. Not sure where that is. You could click and find out. Okay, Childcare partnership grants. Okay, grants and scholarships from the Jewish Community Foundation of the West. Okay, this is scholarships for people. Uh, Foundation about $5 million in grants to for child nutrition. So I run into a lot of nonprofits that are trying to help kids eat better and things like that. So that's a grant. Small business grants here. The city of Centennial. Don't know what that is, but that's more small business grants. Grants help Lauren's Main Street business. Yeah, see that. So if you have a retail business in this city downtown, they have grants for you there. Where we have Pritzker, or whatever. I think that's the Illinois guy again. Additional grants for low-income families. There are 22 Michigan communities receiving $1 million in grants for small businesses. So this is 22 communities in Michigan. Audio, small business stabilization grants for livestock producers. I don't know many of them, but I'm sure they're out there. $200,000 for local organizations in Columbia. I'm not sure where Columbia that is. Perkin County Council approves a rule change for small business assistance grants. So that county, see, a small business. The Shenandoah Valley Battlefield Foundation announced grants. See, they want tourists to come to the battlefield, and that's it. So this is what's going on. You see the kinds of things. I'm going to do this as often as possible. So, on a daily basis, this is 82 new grants that just came. Day new. That's it. So set up your own alert on Google so you get this notified every day. You got to go through them like I do. It takes work. I mean, always, oh, here's a grant for Lesko. It has Lesko's name. You don't know. You got to read it and click it through, and it takes research. And if you're not going to put in the work, man, you can't get that lucky. You may, there are always outliners that one click on the, oh, I got the money and it's juicy. But it probably ain't going to happen to you or me. Yeah. So you got to put in the time and the homework and the research and whatever. And that's what Let's Go Help is showing you this kind of stuff, how to do it yourself. And don't rely on somebody's going to charge you $10,000 to do this when you could do it for free. Okay. See you soon.